What's up, everybody? Welcome to another ES5 Gamer right here on the Because of Me Network, and welcome to our brand new series. Yes, been trying to do this for a little while, and I'm finally able to do it. So welcome aboard, everybody. Hope you enjoy yourself, and I hope I can give you some insight into how this game is meant to be played in a certain way, okay? All of my videos for this series are going to be on survival mode. So I'm going to take this first video to show you the opening sequence we all know and love in the carriage, explain survival mode, and then explain a little bit about the character that I'm doing. Or I might leave the character to the next episode, I haven't decided, but I'm at least going to explain the basics of survival mode, the mechanics of it, and how it works. For new people to Skyrim, I hope this is going to be informational. For people who played this a long time, you don't necessarily have to watch this video, you can watch the next video, which will have escaping Helgen. So, I'm going to hit new, I'm going to shut up and play and let the opening scene play out, and then I'll be back after I'm asked, who am I? So, let's get this started. There's also going to be no music in this playthrough. I don't want to get hit with copyright. And I'll kind of move my head around a little bit to take the conversation in between the characters on the buggy. First things first, I'm going to show you something. The settings, the gameplay. This is going to be a master difficulty playthrough, okay? I would do legendary, but I'm not going to, and I'm going to explain why I don't do legendary for these type of playthroughs when we get to the time where I explain myself, okay? So, actually I'm going to change that real quick, just for my purposes. But yes, this is going to be a master playthrough, okay? So, you can try this playthrough if you want to follow it on legendary, but good luck with that. And I'll explain why here in a minute, but we're going to do master difficulty for this because it's on a survival mode. If this wasn't on survival mode and I wasn't recording it, I'd play on legendary. So, here we go.
Hey, you. You're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us. And that thief over there.
Damn you Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along. Empire was nice and lazy. If they hadn't been looking for you, they could have stolen that horse and been halfway to Hammerfell. You there, you and me, we shouldn't be here. It's these Stormcloaks the Empire wants.
We're all brothers and sisters in binds now, thief.
Shut up back there.
What's wrong with him, huh?
Watch your tongue. You're speaking to Ulfric Stormcloak, the true High King.
Ulfric? The Jarl of Windhelm? You're the leader of the rebellion. But if they captured you... Oh gods, where are they taking us?
I don't know where we're going, but Sovngarde awaits.
No, this can't be happening. This isn't happening.
Hey, what village are you from, horse thief?
Why do you care?
A Nord's last thoughts should be of home.
Rorikstead. I'm from Rorikstead.
General Tullius, sir. The headsman is waiting.
Good. Let's get this over with.
Sure. Mara, Debella, Kinnereth, Akatosh, Divines, please help me.
Look at him. General Tullius, the military governor. And it looks like the Thalmor are with him. Damn elves. I bet they had something to do with this. This is Helgen. I used to be sweet on a girl from here. Wonder if Vilod is still making that mead with juniper berries mixed in. Funny. When I was a boy, Imperial walls and towers used to make me feel so safe.
Who are they, Jay? Where are they going?
To go inside.
watch the soldiers?
Inside the house. Now.
Yes, Papa. Get these prisoners out of the carts. Move it!
Why are we stopping?
Why do you think? End of the line. Let's go. Shouldn't keep the gods waiting for us.
No, wait! We're not rebels!
Face your death with some courage, thief.
You've got to tell them we weren't with you! This is a mistake!
Step towards the block when we call your name. One at a time.
Empire loves their damn lists.
Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl of Windhelm.
It has been an honor, Jarl Ulfric.
Ralof of Riverwood. Lokir of Rorikstead.
No, I'm not a rebel! You can't do this!
Halt!
You're not gonna kill me!
Archers! Anyone else feel like running?
Wait. You there. Step forward. Who are you?
Okay, so that was the introduction. Very, very famous scene in the game, and you will never see it on this channel again. I'm not going to go through it again and again and again and again every time I play through this, so we just got it. I'm going to give you a rundown on survival mode real quick. Survival mode is basically what it says on the tin. You have to eat, sleep, and stay warm to survive, okay? And how do you do that? Well, first things first, fast travel has been disabled. Done. It's gone. You can use carriage and carriage stops. I've got a mod added for that, which I'll explain here in a minute. Diseases now have stages that can kill you. You need to eat, sleep, and stay warm to survive. Level ups only happen when you sleep in. I love that feature because that way you can plan your next move without actually having to commit to your next move. Health regen has been reduced by 100%. So Skyrim and this game in particular had a health regeneration outside of combat. Now it has the health regeneration disabled. Well, not disabled, but completely and utterly reduced by 100%. Potions and spells do restore health, but of course this is going to be a no spell run, and I'll get to that here in a minute. Care weight has been halved. So in the base game it's 300, in survival mode it's 150. There are two perks that you can get. One is a standing stone and the other is a full-on perk that give you weight boosts. The extra pocket perk and the steed stone, those have also been halved to £50. And this is a no-steal run, so the pickpocket perk, not available to us. Carrying beyond our weight will increase fatigue, drain stamina, and basically make things very, very difficult for us. So, but let's go through each category real quick, and then we'll go into the character. Food. Food now has hunger points. The heavier the food, the more points it heals. Hot food decreases cold. Now you need fire salts for that, and they're not a common ingredient. Eating raw food will cause poisoning to human races and some of the elven races. The beast races, however, can eat raw meat, so that's Orc, Khajiit, and Argonian, okay? Any food that regenerates health may not regenerate health. Now, I was playing casually a few weeks ago on survival mode, and I noticed my health regenerated after taking some vegetable soup. So, I don't know if that's legit or not. We're going to have to see. I'll do some testing, and I'll get back to you on that one, okay? And for some reason, booze counts as food, which I find hilarious for the game like Skyrim. For sleeping, you will never get a restful sleep if you sleep outside. They'll leave you at fatigued at best, okay? So there's different levels of tiredness, and fatigued is the highest you will get. So you're always going to be tired if you sleep outdoors, okay? Sleeping in an unowned bed indoors... Excuse me, if you sleep in an unowned bed indoors, you'll only get the rested bonus. If you sleep in an owned bed indoors, you will get the well-rested bonus. Now, you have to sleep for more than 5 hours in that owned bed to get that bonus, okay? And of course, you have to sleep to level up. Now, the good thing about this is if you're in a dungeon, there's a sleeping bag, and you need to level up real quick, it will count as indoors, so that's really, really good. For example, there are beds in the Embershard Mine. You can take some damage, sleep it off, and it won't do anything to hurt you, okay? Warmth. Most campfires will restore warmth. Now, if you have a mod, you have to get a patch, and getting patches for survival mode is difficult these days, but I'll explain that later on if people ask, okay? I'll get through that. If you go indoors, that will restore your warmth. There are armors that are good for survival that include fur, steel, Nordic, Orcish, Daedric, and Dragonplate. However, there are armors that are not good survival, like leather, hide, studded, dwarven, elven, steel plate, and ebony, believe it or not. So yeah, getting up the ebony side of the skill is not going to be worth it, and I'll get to that here in a little while. Torches can help with warmth. We're not going to be using torches with this character because we're going to be doing a two-handed character, and I'll explain more here in a minute. But, and I've got a mod installed that will help us with light. I don't know if it's going to affect us with warmth, but it will definitely help us with light, okay? Fire and frost spells can actually hurt or help you depending on what you do. So if you get hit with a fire spell, it's going to increase your warmth. If you get hit with a frost spell, it's going to decrease your warmth, okay? Skyrim has basically been now split up into 3 climate regions. So any mountain regions or in the north is going to be really, really cold. Any southern regions or the volcanic regions are going to be very, very cool. And the plains are going to be just cool, okay? So it's coldest, warm, and cool. And I know that says wall, I can't be bothered to change it, so... there are penalties if you get cold, hungry, and tired, okay? If you get cold, your max health is reduced. Your movement speed is reduced. And your lockpicking and pickpocketing are nerfed. Not going to bother us for this character, but it might down the line. Fatigue, the max magic is reduced. Stamina and magical regen are reduced. Potion and spell effects are reduced. And your disease resistance is reduced. So the more tired you are, the more susceptible you are to getting sick. And the less potions and magic will work on you. If you get hungry, your max stamina is reduced. And your attack speed is slower. Now, one thing they did do with the special edition before they transferred it to the anniversary edition was they patched survival mode to the point where when you get hungry, the amount of hunger versus the slowness of the speed has been altered. So it used to be 30%, now it's like 10% and decreases. So it used to be 30% and decreases, now it's 10% and decreases. Blocking and sneaking are less effective if you're hungry. But the good thing is that comes with buffs. If you have a warm buff, you have a buff to your pickpocketing and lockpicking because your hands are nice and warm. You're not going to be shivering when you're trying to attempt that. If you're well fed, your stamina regeneration is boosted. And sleep and rested buffs work the same as they did in the base game. So 10% or 5% extra XP when you're using skills. They do have diseases. Diseases have 3 stages now. Normal, severe, and crippling. We're doing 25 points, 50 points, or 75 points or percent of damage. There are 2 diseases, Ataxia and Witbane, that go 50, 75, 100. And each stage gets worse every 24 hours. So if you have normal brown rot, for example, okay, that's a disease in the game, and you don't heal it for 2 days, it's going to get up to crippling brown rot. And it could eventually kill you. So once you get a disease, you've got to cure it as quickly as possible. And without healers, you're going to have to go to a shrine or carry potions around. We're going to carry potions around, but if you go to a shrine, it's going to cost you 100 gold to receive the blessing of that particular god. But you will get your disease keyword there and then. So that's the basics of survival mode. We'll go into more of them when we play the game. And yeah, I'm going to give you a rundown of this character real quick. This is going to be a 2-handed melee character. We're not going to see him that much because we're going to be in first person. So I'm just going to make a quick character here for a minute. Get rid of the wall paint. I don't like wall paint. His eye color, make him brown. There we go. We're going to give him some facial hair. Because I like facial hair. If you haven't seen me on any of the other shows, I do have facial hair. And we're going to make him experienced, shall we say. Okay? Now, before we go ahead and name our guy, before we go ahead and get started, I'm going to give you a rundown of the character build real quick, okay? So, first things first, no spells. This is a spell-less run. The character will not be using spells, period, at all. No healing spells, no destruction spells, no alteration spells, nothing. No spells are to be used at all. Racial powers can be used, shouts can be used, and enchanted items can be used, although we're not doing any enchanted, okay? So, for example, we find a 2-handed ring out there, we can use it, we can't craft a 2-handed ring, okay? Alchemy. The character's backstory includes him being an alchemist, so alchemy is allowed, but he doesn't use poisons, okay? He thinks those are beneath you when you got a good, solid battle axe, okay? There are no restrictions on smithing, there are no restrictions on combat, except for no murder, no deliberately killing civilians, okay? So if you see a bandit, that's fine, because they're bandits. If you see Nazim, you can't kill him, okay? And you'll see how annoying Nazim is. Although, in my opinion, Nazim's not even the top 5 most annoying people in Whiterun, never mind in the game, but that's a different story for a different day. And you have to free all prisoners you come across after level 10. Because you come across a prisoner being escorted by some Imperials at the very early point in the game, there's no way you're going to be able to take on all the Imperials at that point, but after level 10, a few perks, you might be able to, so that's going to be in there too. And for this playthrough, we're going to be going through the Civil War quest line, the Companions quest line, and the main quest line, okay? And yeah, that is it. No, wait, I forgot one thing. Like I said, we've got some creations and some mods on. I want to put them up on the screen right now. And of course, all this is in the description below as well. Basically, these mods are game-changing to the point of logic, okay? There's, I'm going to highlight a couple of them real quick. The first things first is no projectile dodge. I think that is crap. You know, that they programmed into the game where you completely sneak in, you shoot off an arrow, and the character just dodges out the way because he knows it's coming. You know, I think that's total crap, and that needs to be out there. There's also one called Carriage Stops of Skyrim. Look, if you see me walking around all day, walking from here and there and everywhere, it's going to get boring. I want to keep this kind of fast-paced. I want to keep this logical. So they said end of the line, so that implies that there's bus lines in Skyrim for the carriages. So Carriage Stops of Skyrim is something that I'm going to use to dart around the map a little easier, to take the sting out of no fast travel. The thing is, though, if you take a carriage or carriage stop, it does put in the effects of sleep, hunger, and tiredness. And warmth, excuse me. So, I don't mind using that. Then there's some stuff like pickaxe and animated stuff just to make things move quicker, okay? And like I said, that's the full list on screen now. And, of course, we've got some creations. Some of these were purchased before Skyrim came out with the Anniversary Edition. So, like, there's Tundra Homestead that we're not going to use in this playthrough. There's the Mud Crab that we're not going to use in this playthrough, but we are going to use the backpacks. I think the backpacks and the camping is important to a survival mode playthrough. And yeah, so that's our guy. And we will come to our guy next video, okay? So thank you very much for watching, everybody. And if you like what you see, go check out BecauseOfMeNetwork.com. That's where you find all of our archives. Go check out Facebook and Instagram for the latest news and what's going on. And if you like podcasts, we have podcasts. The 90s Podcast, which will be coming back very, very soon. I think in the next 5 weeks. Yes, really, really busy here. But you can catch that on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, or wherever good podcasts are shown, okay? But in the meantime, that's it for this video. I want you all to take it easy, and we'll see you next time. Bye.